Hey, and look who it is. It's the creepy baby. Welcome.
Yo, Mike! Wow, man! Dude! So I'm flying around the Astro. I see your Facebook post that Jan's going to be there, man. We've been working on a project together. We'll talk about that in a little while. But, I just couldn't help but be here. I ramped the taxi up. I'm here. Ron's here. You're here. B's here. All the other crazy people are here. We're going to have a really good time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good to see the creepy baby.
Yeah, all right, man. I'll see you a little later.
What's up, Wiz? How you doing?
Seriously, I am so psyched beyond belief, man. It's like
that was definitely beyond this dimension.
I happened upon John's stuff about 10, 11 years ago. And it was this one particular shot called The Blue Room that, we'll show later. And it just every once in a while you see those things that kind of just inspire you. Like I'd never seen anything like that before. And it just made this feeling inside me that was just like, oh man, this is crazy. And I started trying to take it apart and how it was, because I didn't know anything about light painting then. I really hadn't been exposed to it at that point. And it really jacked me up and inspired me to want to get involved in it. And I did it in kind of a light sort of way for many years, but that picture was just burned in my freaking brain now. So it wound up, I started doing my own version of it, and I tracked Jan down, kind of like you and me did, man. And I tracked him down on Facebook. He's just a really super cool guy. And as we become friends, I'd notice that video was completely stop motion. See,
I love that.
Every one of those frames was an individual light painting. It was like a piece of art in and of itself. So you start to stack up how many of those there were in that video and how long that took, and the concentration and kind of zenness that it takes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty crazy. Totally. And, so I really instantly related to that because of my own stop motion thing with the tarot videos.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of started digging each other and noticed he's got his whole black and white thing. I've got this whole black and white thing. And just on so many levels, we've had a creative parallel in some ways of exploring kind of similar universes. So on that level, I'm just beyond psyched to
well, I think you've both kind of created your own universes, like alternate versions of yourselves, and then I saw I had a little preview of some of the stuff you sent me. The stuff you guys are collaborating on is just blew my mind. Holy crap. The creepy baby and just the way you guys are presenting that, I cannot wait I am so honored to be able to present such visionary art on this show, and I mean from your art to now having Janne Parviainen on the show. I hope I pronounced it right. He's gonna
we're gonna make him say it, because I've butchered his name probably every single time I've said it.
Oh my God. It's just it's so amazing, and just amazing that like you said, just through being who you are and who I am, we reached out, we created this relationship with each other. You've created this relationship with Jan and inspired each other in art and in life, and it's just such an amazing thing to just manifest all of it.
Well, and I thought it'd be really particularly apropos to have them on with the THREES when, one word creativity, so
it's awesome. Amazing.
It's all kinds of different aspects of that. And I can't think of anyone else that personifies that.
Perfection. More. It's such perfection.
So, let's get some business out of the way. Oh, first of all, last week, it has now become affectionately called within my little friend group, the Endless Episode.
The Endless Episode. Why they say that?
Endless Episode, because it just shut off. There was no end.
Oh, right. That's right. Because we disappeared in the middle of it. That's right. I forgot about that. Well, it was. You know what? I realized when I looked up at the clock that it was just about 10 o'clock anyway. But you're right. It was very odd. That's hysterical. The endless episode.
The endless episode. I
We
thought
did. We just disappeared.
Yeah, it's gone.
But
So
we're back. We're back.
yeah, we're back. So anyway, before we get into the threes and all of that stuff, please hit the like and subscribe something. I promised several of my friends I will do a better job at the threat of being thrashed about the head and shoulders with a chair. So please hit the like and subscribe and help us get that thing. And if you dig it at all, man, share it. You know, I mean, certainly what you're going to see tonight from Jan is going to be, you know, a lot of people would benefit from seeing that. So do that.
Absolutely.
If you're interested in the decks are the 10th anniversaries are just about to run out, actually, and they're still available on wizardofod.com. And that's Wizard with a Y. And then last but not least, the Fine Art America site, fineartamerica.com. If you're digging any of the cards or the artwork, my prints are now available there at really reasonable prices, and you know, you can get them on all kinds of materials and sizes, and it's kind of a cool way to have it happen, and swag and that kind of stuff as well. And you know, I'm going to start doing a section on that site that's going to be the card of the week. That I'm going to be putting up the card that we're working on that week, available to be able to get printed. And you know, you can get postcard sizes. There's a bunch of different sizes. So you know, if you wanted to create a whole little collage,
I think some of them will look great as posters, like on your wall.
Yeah, they really will. So you know, I'll be rotating those every week and making a lot of different images available. So we'll remind you of that. But now that I've gotten that out of the way.
Absolutely. So there's that, and there's wizardofod.com on the bottom of the screen for those of you guys who just want to know how to spell it. As well, I know we don't talk about me as much on the show either, but this show is really created to highlight you, Bryan, and your artwork. But I have my artwork on photosynthesis.com. That's my website as well, and we all work with light. I do projector stuff. It's a little bit different.
And hang on before you go off that, I wanted to plug the live stream of consciousness too, you know.
Oh yes,
Michael and I, it's kind of how Michael and I sort of met and connected on this. You know, he does a show every Thursday night where he connects with some really crazy, interesting people, and like some major what the fuck people, and some like pretty well-known authors, and it's really worth a stop by. So 9 o'clock.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Live stream of consciousness, YouTube.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't have a banner for that one, but we will be promoting ourselves much better from now on. Good job, Bryan.
Yeah, I don't want to get crashed on the head and shoulders.
No, good job, man. That, you know what, we should be proud of who we are and what we do, and that's really, like I said, why I said I wanted to create this show, was to really highlight who you were and your artwork, and not just your artwork, but the whole connection between your artwork and your shamanism and your mysticism and your being and all of that. So awesome. On with the show. Let's do it.
So what happened last week? Any twos kind of scenarios that you're aware of?
You know what? I think yes. I'm gonna definitely say yes. And I think in general, my whole situation for the past bunch of weeks has been really, you know, kind of involving all of that stuff. You know, everything that we do, like you've been experiencing it as we do it, I feel like it's more just like the whole thing is encompassing, you know, my life, you know, all of it. So yes, there's some business relationships and love relationships and things happening in those areas, you know, that I think are relative to everything we talked about last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we are going to talk about the threes tonight, specifically the Three of Wands. Do you have any thoughts to bring to that discussion up front, Mr. Zinn?
Thoughts about the Three of Wands?
Thoughts about the Three of Wands? Yes, perhaps.
Well, let me first go ahead and share my window, and let me see if I'm showing the Three of Wands. I am. That's going to be this window. And there we go. So how
Yeah,
many
I
thoughts?
really love this card, by the way. This is one of my favorite cards. The spiral of the smoke going up those wands.
Yeah.
Just love that. Love that. It's
Yeah.
just like energy. You know, it's like the pure energy of that. And
Right.
I really like, you know, that these cards have kind of symbolized that rather than the specifics of the situation like the Rider Waite deck does.
Right. I love the way you chose to represent the numbers and the symbols, you know, the suits. I think it's just super creative. But yeah,
So,
this is amazing. I was really more excited to hear about it. I mean, I know you were talking about how it's all about creativity, the threes in general. So,
well, just as a hint for maybe, you know, coming shows, like, you know, this amazing little deck comes with, yes, a manual.
you know what? It's funny because I have it
You know,
right
and you
here.
can pull that thing out, and it actually has exactly what those cards mean,
Right.
like right there. So I'm not going to bust your ass anymore. All right.
Yeah, no, you're already doing,
I'm always doing a little. Of course, tonight would have to be a 3-card pull rather than the whole elemental thing, right? So I always do a little card pull based on, you know, the question being, you know, what do I need to know about tonight's show? So the first card is the Wheel of Fortune, always an excellent card. The middle card is the Star, which that's Aquarius, that's me, that's wishes fulfilled, that's like goodness all around, bringing the water of life to a thirsty planet. And then, of course, the very last card is the Three of Wands.
amazing.
You know, out of, I think, what's tonight? Is tonight the 26th show?
26th episode. Yeah.
You know, I do one of these little polls like before every show, and I think there's only been like 2 or 3 of them that the card that the show was about didn't like play a major role in that. Yeah, which is just
amazing.
I think too funny.
Totally not surprising, but amazing.
But that also is a good indication that yes, we've gathered the energy and we're connected. You know, so that's always a good sign to me that like we're in the nexus and in the zone and can actually do something cool.
Yes.
All right. So we're in the Wands.
Hold on. I got to go grab my notebook for some reason. It's not here.
Oh, Mr. Zen.
Oh, you love me and you know it.
I do.
All right. I got my book.
Okay, so we are in. We're going to be looking at the wand suit, which is what element, Mr. Zen?
The wands is air. Oh, I see. I don't have that notebook in front of me.
Okay, you need to memorize this. Wands, fire.
Wands is fire.
Every card in Wands is fire.
Okie doke. I will make it a point to memorize the suits and their elements.
So we are looking. Okay, so yeah, and across, you know, we're going to go across. We're looking at the Three of Wands, which is fire. We're going to look at the Three of Cups, which is water. We're going to look at the Three of Swords, which is air, and finally the Three of Pentacles, which is earth, and the way things manifest.
Okay.
So while we're in the Wands column, you know, all of these cards are relating to energy. So we've come from that first burst of energy in the ace and that potential for beginning. It's divided and started considering itself and growing. And now the third point is the beginnings of 3-dimensional manifestation. You know, and the triangle is the strongest architectural element. It can't be crushed. It can't be wobbed. It's like a perfect triangle is the strongest, like, structure there is. So things are now moving out of potential energy and moving into the energy of actually coming to fruition and construction, and moving from a 2-dimensional flat space to a 3-dimensional 3D space. Wands always represent the energetic aspect of life. And in this particular case, like in the Rider-Waite version of this, it's a guy standing up on an overlook, and he's overlooking this bay, and several ships are like sailing in to go looking like they're docking. So the energy about this card is this guy's kind of looking over this new domain, like the ships are starting to come in. There's starting to be potential for business, for growth, for potential for whatever the goal established with that initial chunk of energy is, now has fertility and ability to grow out into some different scenarios.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Three of Wands represents creativity in a crazy way. Like of all of those cards, three just in general in numerology, if you're going to pick one word to represent that, it's creativity.
Right.
And it's that burst of inspiration. It's that moving outside of that two dimensions and expanding that universe out. And it's about success, creativity, and inspiration, and finding new directions to go with your energy. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now that we've talked about the Three of Wands, we're going to move over to the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is in the water column, which is about emotions. So like the very first card in the water column is the Ace of Cups. And that's about like understanding that you're ready for a new love connection, whether that's another person, something you're doing, a business, whatever that is, you're now ripe for that kind of connection. The Two of Cups is that moment where that connection begins, and the first spark of a real connection, not just a potential connection, actually starts, and an exploration begins at that point. Mm-hmm. The Three of Wands or Cups represents after that union has been made and everybody's in, it's like the celebration dinner at the wedding feast. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody's in love, man. It's like, okay, this is over the top good. It's the celebration at the wedding feast. And that card is a joyous card for exactly that reason, because it represents celebration, it represents success in whatever you're doing, it represents connection on a deep, emotional, loving basis to whatever you're participating with and whatever you're having a relationship with. And pretty much just in general, that's one of the
so it's like the formal announcement of the
it's not the announcement, it's the celebration after the ceremony.
Right, the marriage. Okay.
Gotcha. Everybody's getting drunk and partying, man. Everybody's just having a blast because this is an amazing connection.
Gotcha.
Okay, then we go from like this amazing emotional connection to the Three of Swords, air, mind. It's heartbreak. Like,
oh no, really?
Like the most heartbreaking card in the deck.
No.
But the reality of that is, okay, what's air about, Mr. Zen? In a word.
Thought.
Very good. It's about mental stuff. So what's going on in your mind is the thing that's killing you. And you're thinking about it and chewing about it. And you're making these scenarios like just bloom in your mind about how bad this hurts. And like, it's just amplified beyond words. Right. So it probably isn't reality. Or it's an extreme response to a reality that has just occurred. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you can't let it go. And it just circle things. Yeah, really difficult. Well, okay, now we get finally to the Three of Pentacles, which is a glorious card. And what the Three of Pentacles represents somebody that has mastered their craft, like to the peak of where that craft had been to that date. They were a master and are getting paid really well. Like they are in demand. They are like, they are the shit. you know, and everybody wants them. And it is a really, really glorious card for exactly that reason, because you're getting recognition. Recognition in and of itself to an artist is fantastic.
Sure. Yeah.
But to get physically compensated for it,
right,
really a great thing.
That's awesome that we did such a good job promoting the show at the beginning, and promoting your artwork. So from what I'm seeing here, the 3 of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles, or the 3 of Discs, are both desirable cards.
Desirable cards?
Yeah.
You know, I don't really look at them like that. I mean, they're nice to see when you see them, but
yeah, that's what I meant.
The mistake of wanting to see them, because you have your ability with that desire to actually make that card show up. And then that's a skew. Is that really you? Is that really an answer to the question? Or is that just your ability to manifest that card based on what you wanted? Which is why I often talk about going to the 3rd band to do my readings. Right. You know, here we go with the bands again. But out in the 3rd band, there's no.
I thought you were trying to go to the 7th band.
I am going to the 7th band, but I use the 3rd band constantly.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I've been outlawed anyway for a moment, because I got to fix some physical stuff before I can continue. Yeah, shredding myself and putting it back together every night. A little rough. I need some maintenance. I'm going into the shops. But on the 3rd band, there's no emotion, you know, and when you're doing a reading from that space where you're not bringing any of your own emotional content to it, none of your desires, nothing. You're just there observing a blank screen with information that starts to show up. And when you're in that space on that band, you're not really feeling anything about that yet, which is great, because then you can just evaluate all of that information. You know, I had to kind of like manipulate where I went in the 3rd band, because when you're right in the middle of the 3rd band, there's no connection to the emotional to the 2nd band at all. And it is like hardcore just facts, which are not always that comfortable to hear. And it was a little brutal the first few times I did it. And I was able to kind of bring that back to where the little tendrils of the emotional band are kind of going up into the 3rd band, and just touch those to bring enough of that to temper that, but still keep the purity of that information, which I really like a lot. So
gotcha.
Yeah, went off on a really big ramble on that. And
yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
So let's get to Jan, man.
I was gonna say he's in the back there. It's like 4 a.m. in Helsinki, right? It's like, I think we should get him. So
well, first of all, let me say hey to Jilly and Celestial and Rick, my brother.
What's up, everybody? Good to see you people out there. Absolutely.
Rick, you're gonna dig this guy's stuff, man.
Always.
Yeah, and Jan, you should know Rick. Rick's an amazing artist also. So anyway, without further ado,
the Fool's Journey becomes international, and we welcome Janne Parviainen
from Helsinki.
From Helsinki. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for the invite.
Oh, we're so happy you said hello to come and are here, and Jilly saying yo, and Celestial saying hey, and Rick is saying hey. We're so happy to see you, man.
Yeah, we've been very excited, Jan. How you doing? It's 4 o'clock in the morning there, man. You're still awake?
Yeah. I used to be a postman, so I'm used to this kind of wake up.
It's awesome, man.
It's okay.
Yeah, I have been seeing the well, first of all, one of the ways that we really got connected was our interest in graphic novels, you know, and Jan's produced a number of those and has been for the last year or two really involved in creating a new one, and it's been really fun to watch it grow, and it's out and for sale now and super cool. And so that's how kind of Creepy Baby wound up connecting with Jan, and you know, I've got a bunch of new work to show you, Jan, and we're gonna like finally, if you're still up for it, man, we're gonna do the
definitely. I really like the Creepy Baby dance addition in the video you showed.
That was incredible, man. And like Bryan was saying, you know, I've always been a fan of stop animation. You know, since I'm a little kid, it's like the first thing you kind of learn as a basic you know, thing. I did it with my mom's, you know, 16 millimeter film camera and my Smurfs, you know. But the level of like, you know, still kind of being an artist at, you know, a mature artist, and taking it to that level of creativity is just, it's so awesome, so inspiring.
Yeah, I really actually love stop motion. It's kind of like a easy magic to do.
Right, it almost is, but your style is so unique to you, you know what I mean, which is, that's not easy to do, right?
Yeah, that's yeah.
So
But like Bryan said, it's kind of like meditation actually to do those. Like it's
really
like
is
being in the
thing,
studio
right?
at like midnight and doing like one frame for 20 minutes and just continuing. It's really a meditation.
It's amazing. When I saw I was like doing a little bit more research, and I saw, you know, you actually doing it and sitting in the chair and tracing yourself, and I was like, oh, I always thought it was a model that you were doing, you know, or stand-in. And I was just like, wow, this is such a unique expression of art and of self, you know what I mean? It's just, it's so beautiful, man.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
I've talked about that blue room shot so much. Do you have that available to bring up, Michael?
Let me just see. I've got a folder that Jan sent to me of stuff. I don't know if the blue room is in there.
The
I
blue
think
room
so.
is
It's
definitely in
called
there.
it's
Yes.
titled Karma.
Arma.
Oh, I
Okay.
see. Yeah.
Yep. I do see that
Yeah.
one. Hold on. I'll pop that
Yeah.
one in here. Boom. And oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So this thing just knocked me over when I first saw it, and like this whole like, wow. I mean, the fact that everything in it seemed electric and alive, you know, and just really copped this energy. You know, it was the first time where I really related like the light painting to like simulating an energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, phenomenal. So this is one of your earliest works?
Yeah, I think it's from maybe 10 years ago or something. And that's actually my wife on the table as a model.
Wow.
You know,
And
I think it's like I think it's something like, this was something like 45 minutes of exposure. So it's basically done with one LED light. So I have been tracing, and you can count how many like single lines.
amazing.
It is basically just like
through the whole room, almost the whole room, right?
the whole room. That's exactly right. Like, wow.
And that's also like meditating.
That long, hard.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And it's really meditating. I really love doing this. It's like you're in the total darkness with this one LED light and just like crawling all over the room and like tracing everything. It's
Hey, show some of those other ones. Show some of those other ones, Mike.
Yeah, so I just have a question. So the room is actually pitch black, and you're really kind of just feeling your way around?
Yeah, it's pitch black. So basically just have to like see through the camera viewer like the whole place and kind of like try to remember that this place I have to trace. This place shows at the camera, and it's like it's a study in like a 3D space.
So all right, so I'm just gonna drop these in here one by one. These are in alphabetical order, so you can kind of just tell us what's going on. I can see that's a family shot right there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's like I like this photo because it's basically kind of like the life of the artist.
And you know what's really amazing about this is I just sensed this. I just got this from the consciousness of this photo, is that this moment is going to just mean so much to these kids. You know what I mean? Seeing what you're doing and feeling your intense passion for what you're doing, and actually being on your back at that moment. That's really amazing. That's something special.
And I actually used my kids' drawings also with this thing. I took them to the studio, and when they were like 5 years old or something, they got to like draw anything on the walls, and I just like improvised based on those drawings.
Amazing.
Like continuing like, anamorphic drawings and everything out of them.
You made their drawings come to life, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah. Oh my God, amazing! Yeah, I've been watching your stuff for days. I've just been like inundated with it. Oh, look at this one.
Oh, dude! I mean, come on.
Yeah, this was actually in the National Geographic as a spread.
Wow.
Yeah, that was actually one of my dream come true when they contacted me from the National Geographic that, hey, we would like to publish this, and I was like, whoa.
I would imagine that's a dream come true. That's quite an accomplishment. Congratulations on that. And even just, I mean, I'm just looking at the artwork here, and the your work is just, it's phenomenal.
So inspiring.
And this photo actually always reminds me, like when you see the finished photo on the camera screen, because when you're doing it, you don't see anything.
Right.
And when it pops into the camera screen, it's like, poof. This was like, I think one of the like greatest experiences ever to see the finished photo on the camera.
How long did that one take, John?
I think this was something like 30 minutes or something.
Wow.
Everyone
that's my old kitchen.
Christmas present when you finally get to see it, right?
It is. Yeah.
Get over that.
Yeah.
So, and it must be so like nerve-wracking that moment that you close the shutter.
Yeah, and actually I have like maybe 3 or 4 times done like a 50 minutes exposure, and then I realized I haven't put the camera on. It's like
oh man. You're not supposed to tell us that.
Those ones were for the universe, just like okay.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, and I really like this kind of like a shamanism, and like if you're in this Finnish forest at night, it's like it's really like you're in contact with the nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to have that connection with the nature with the photos. So basically, always when I go to take some photos outside, it's based on improvisation. It's what I find and try to like create something based on that.
Right. And so now, since this is outside, you can't really control how dark it is. I mean, I'm imagining you'll go to the darkest possible location, right?
Yeah.
And this is an assistant, a model, or this is
me.
That's you. Traced yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just me in the forest at night.
That's awesome. And then afterwards, I'm imagining you use another light on the trees, right? There to paint.
Yeah, with the flashlight, just like the details I want to like showcase.
Phenomenal.
And it's always fun when you're in the forest. It's basically kind of like when you're walking in the dark forest. It's kind of like creepy, but then when you start taking the photos, you're so into that moment that it's like the whole place comes like kind of like your home. It's like you're at home when you're doing it.
And then you're creating this. I mean, this is like interdimensional travel here. You know, this is some amazing stuff here.
And the thing I really like with light painting is that basically all this is real. Kind of like all this you see now. It's basically like it's happening, but in kind of like different time dimension, basically like slow
exactly
down time.
Exactly what I mean. It's like it's like time travel. It's like a actual time travel.
Yeah, that's something I really love in light painting.
So amazing.
And you know, I know you've got to enjoy this too. I love pushing pigment around, and when you're actually on a piece of paper or canvas or something, there's a joy in actually moving that and creating that. But when you're in this dark room in this 3D space, it's now no longer this flat plane. It's now this whole dark room, and you're still moving pigment around, but it's light energy. You know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah.
It really is magic.
And
it is.
Here we go. This next one is going to connect everything together, I think. and this is I think what you were talking about, Bryan, where you guys were kind of living this parallel, you know, kind of doing these things that were just so kind of not the same, but channeled from the same source, you know, kind of.
Yeah. And here where actually I got inspiration from Bryan, seeing his like these kaleidoscopic things. So I also was like, this is so cool that how could I interpret this into my work also?
Amazing, right? The shapes and the things that start to appear when you start working with this symmetry.
Yeah.
And that's where my work comes in too, with the human dollars, where it's just this symmetrical repetition of the actual image, and these new elements appear, these new beings.
Those were actually my kids also as models in the previous photo.
Beautiful.
Small figures of my kids. Yeah.
That's great.
And these are like this that I love to do in my studio, these anamorphic drawings, like added with light painting. So basically you see this creature in the photo. So the legs are actually anamorphic drawings on the floor.
Oh wow! Oh,
so I really like to continue kind of like actual drawings with light painting.
Wow.
So
holy cow! How did you figure that one out? You definitely channeled that from another constellation or something.
I want to make sure this gets in here. This light, I call these the line guys that Jan does. There's a lot of people out there that like have kind of copied this style, but I think I haven't ever seen anybody do it previous. I think he's like the father of this. And oh man, the finesse that these are done with.
This is just so amazing to me to even combine. You're combining the actual 3-dimension with the 2-dimension, and then, like Jan was saying, with the dimension of time now. I mean, this is like so multi-dimensional. But just to understand, so the white perspective lines are also in the environment. Those are actual.
They're anamorphic lines. Yeah. Right. So basically, if you would see this setup in the studio from another like angle, all the white lines would go like totally crazy. But you just turn into this one anamorphic point of view. I think
it's so cool.
So I really love all this kind of tricking of the mind. So basically, in the photo, you can see the actual room shape in the shadows.
Yeah.
So the white lines are totally in a different angle than the actual room.
Right. So the left wall is not actually coming in at that angle. It's really more straight away. I could see that. So dude, this is beyond. This is so amazing. So let me ask you a question about the actual light painting part, though, because you've got this really cool kind of like dimension happening, where the front of the chest is more lit up and then the sides are, it falls off, and it gives it that whole 3-dimensional feeling. Is that just the natural way that it captured the LED, or were you doing something special like that?
It is I use really high apertures in my photos. It's basically something like aperture of 16 or something. So when you're using such high apertures, the light is really like when it's like straight into the camera, it's bright, and when it moves a little further, it comes like, so basically if I move the LED light here, you can see when it's pointing the camera.
I gotcha. Okay, so that's where you got that depth from.
So it comes naturally, and that's why I like to use these high apertures.
Is this yourself, or is this an assistant, a model?
That's me. This is something I have been doing like 2 a.m. at my studio.
I saw some of the videos. I was like, I can't believe this is what he's doing. Because for some of them, I mean, I know some of them you use people, and you're tracing other people, but this is just
there's a couple more. Let's see some more.
Yeah, a couple more. I have so many of these. I'm so excited to look at it. I could go through this all night. This is just amazing.
Yeah, and almost when I'm in the studio, I'm in a good place. It's one of the best moments of my life, and I'm there. It's like, it's magic.
So my art is so connected to my spiritual journey, like they're really not separated. And what I'm working on spiritually reflects in my art, and what my art reflects in my, and to me, like they're no longer separate. Like your magic and your spirituality and your art, they're all one thing. And in my world, I just to know if that would, how that is for you. How is your art connected to your spiritual journey?
I think it's like, it is me. It's like I think art is something that I just like do without even trying. It's just like it comes naturally. It's something that comes out of me.
So wonderfully and eloquently as well. It's just amazing. These images are great. So I see Jilly, she was said earlier, I didn't see this, but she just ordered Postman. So is that the graphic novel we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, I actually have one copy here to show.
That's awesome. And so and now I heard you say earlier that you actually used to be a postman.
Yeah, I used to be. That's actually, I read, my brother lent me this book of skills post office after I quit the post because he knew I hated the job. So it was like, this will inspire you. I was like, whoa,
Oh my God, that's so
I got to
great.
do my own version.
That's so great.
This actually, this photo in the screen is from my attic, and this black hole is basically just black paper that I taped on the wall and on the floor, and then I draw this end of the tiles to the photo.
Awesome.
That's amazing. So
but it's funny how easily you can trick the mind. It's like you just few additions of like 3D elements in the drawing in the sides of the black paper gives you the illusion of
well when
like
you're taking 3 dimensions and squishing them down to 2, you can really do a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. And the whole anamorphic angle thing is also just phenomenal, the way you bring that into it. It's amazing. So hold on, let me see what else we got here. Here's something really cool. Let's hear about this one.
Yeah, that's my ex-wife, and actually she was pregnant while we took this photo. She was like quite close to like giving labor. So
oh my goodness.
she was a champ with this, and there's like, let's go into the cold forest to take photos. So like, yeah.
That's hysterical. And then who are you? The skeleton? Were you tracing yourself for the skeleton?
Yeah. The skeletons are easy to draw because basically I just use my own
form. Yeah. I saw some of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Wow, awesome. Oh my God, there's so many of these. Let's keep going. This one's great. This one is called Invocation for an Ice Age. I love that. This one. I love the clever titles on some of these.
And actually, this is like a good model of this creative madness that I cherish. My neighbor was walking like past when I was making the snowman. He was just like eyeing me like, okay.
Jan's at it again. Oh, there he is, crazy Jan. Okay, so
it's all right.
all right. Again, there's so many. I want to keep going. Oh my God. Oh, what genius. It's just so amazing. And how long did something like this take? So those are all people actually seated in seats, and you have to feel your way around and find them, I guess.
Yeah, you can see actually these tiny like these red dots somewhere that I marked these places where I have to sit to trace these creatures to like find in the dark. So I marked all the spots with small lights. And actually, it's so easy to give like illusions in the photos, like this bright light in the back of the wall. It's kind of like you immediately think that that's a projector from the movie theater, but just like a flashlight towards the camera from the back of the room.
Just one little pop, right?
Yeah. And immediately your imagination is like, okay, that's the projection.
Absolutely.
And adding the movie that the creators are showing.
Well, it's an actual illustration, like Bryan was saying. You're actually drawing something. You're creating something here.
Yeah.
Here's another one. So tell us how this was done. You had all these numbers and written on the actual surface, or?
Yeah. My friend Jukkalainen, he used this like a kind of like stencil. So he uploaded to his mobile phone this like flashing numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like really fast, and made one photo with it. And I was like, can I get that also? And downloaded it to my phone, and it's kind of like basically tracing the whole room with mobile phone that is flashing numbers.
How the hell did
and
you
then adding these creatures?
That's amazing. That is phenomenal that this is all created that way. Like this is such pure, it's pure art. It's like you would think there's so much digital manipulation, but it's just it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love
No
it.
artificial intelligence.
I love it. No artificial intelligence. No, but even no digital manipulation, which is
No
amazing.
digital manipulation. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And this I actually really like. This is the thing that I love. That is in improvisation. Like I went to this forest and somebody had like torn down this scooter in the forest, maybe like taking the expensive parts off and leaving everything behind. So I thought that, hey, this kind of looks like a mantis. So I built from this scooter trash this mantis scooter and added these light painted elements there. So I really love to make these trash sculptures with the stuff I found from the like abandoned factories. I was like, hey, this stuff is like going to be like trash sculpture, and building that on there and then adding light painted elements.
Amazing. This one is also so amazing. This one's tell us about the photographic technique on this one.
Yeah, so this is actually the table I'm by now. Also, you can see the same bookshelf on the behind. So I bought this new lamp that is in the photo on the table, and I like the light it gives you. It's kind of like it gives light like right under it, and not like over it anywhere else. So I thought this is going to be like good for lighting up me in the photo. And from that, I started to think that what could I add to this photo that it makes interesting me with this lamp. So I took this camera to another room and I thought that, hey, this is a nice angle. It's kind of like this door frames the whole photo. So adding like 2 dimensions, this light paint that kind of like this creativity, like imagination, where you see through me.
Amazing.
So this is titled Imagination, I think so. It's kind of like
so that's you sitting at the desk, and you obviously had to like turn that light on for a moment to get that exposure. Did you do that with like a foot switch or like?
Yeah, the camera it is like everything is pitch black. So I have the camera in the another room, and then I go to the table and I take these lamps switch to my hand and just like try to be still and click the lamp on and off. And then I go and sit on this chair in like by the door and trace myself, and then go to another room and trace everything plus myself also in these 2 different places.
Oh my God, this is just so beyond brilliant. It's just
so do you have that project file that I sent that has Jan project on it?
Let's see. I do. I have
the Creepy Baby project.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
New stuff.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. I'm like so.
Okay, so yeah, I have there's a folder here that says new stuff, which has images of the creepy baby at the computer at the portal.
Sure.
Is that what we're talking about? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, hold on.
You don't have to do them all. I just want to do a few of them.
I could do this all night long, man. This is so much fun. Hold on a second. Let me add this to the screen. I just closed it by accident. Share.
John, you ever thought about doing a tarot deck yourself? You know, like artists. I mean, like that's like the ultimate project for an artist. You know,
that would be interesting.
That?
And I love your designs on the deck. It's like it's super cool.
Thanks.
And even with this, you made these like to animated those images to move there. Like
amazing, right?
Amazing.
It's so inspiring.
So creepy baby's like jamming around. He sees Jan's picture over there, man. It's like he's getting ready to drive the taxi to Helsinki. Yeah.
These are so cool.
Yeah, this will be really, really fun.
He's firing it up.
Yeah.
Heading in there.
Hey, you got any of the green gifts? There's I think.
Oh
there's
yeah,
three.
yeah. Absolutely,
Yeah. He
absolutely.
gets charged up before he goes, and these are kind of like what's going to happen to him before he does that. Before he
And it's interesting to see what happens in Helsinki when he gets here.
Yeah, that's where I thought we were heading to. Hold on a second. So you want me to go right to the gifts? All right, let's do it. There we go.
This is so cool.
This is
like the little Dr. Frankenstein baby.
I could not stop smiling when I was looking at these. This is like steampunk neon light. You know what I mean? Like an actual an advertisement neon light. It's just like so cool. And then here's another one.
Well, Jan actually turned me on to the little lights that, like, man, they work so good.
Yeah. They're the ultimate tool for light painting. Just like,
you know, what's great about them is they're pressure sensitive. You know, and you can get you can get it. It's not just an immediate turn off. You can get the like a little pencil line, the way you get the pressure release. So, you know, it's really like drawing. Yeah.
There's a lot.
And you can even use it like a calligraphy brush. So basically, like pointing towards the camera and off the camera, so they get
that's where you get
different kind of shapes.
The dimension. Yeah. So cool. So cool. So and then I also have this. I have this other video that's got some music to it. Do you want me to show that too?
Sure. And you know, we're that'd be a pretty good way to sign us off, I think, you know.
Oh yeah, you're ready to go? I want to do this all night long.
Well, no, let's go. I mean, if you know, run that video.
All right, let's do that. Present video file. And that is right here. So cool. And so is this, Bryan, you made this, or you sent Creepy Baby to Jan?
Yeah, no, I made this.
Oh, okay.
It's all my stuff, yeah.
Okay.
This is the side where Creepy Baby's gonna go through the computer into that, and wind up in
Creepy Baby is coming here.
Here we go. You ready? Here we go. This is the visual with the sound and the movie and everything.
He's still alive, 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 alive.
Yeah, that's probably all there is to that.
He's still alive.
Excellent.
He's still alive. He's still alive. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. I am just so honored to be in such great brilliance, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. And Jan, it was such a pleasure meeting you, and you are such an inspiration. Your work is amazing. I wish you so much luck with everything you're doing. And if you ever need anything from us, we are here. We'd love for you to come back anytime. I know it's like a 36-hour difference or something.
It's okay. I love being here.
So grateful, man. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
I've enjoyed our connection and look forward to many future adventures. So peace, my brother. Have a great night, man.
Absolutely.
You too.
And I guess we'll just sign off here, right? We
will. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week with the 4s.
Nice. Peace.
Peace.